Hi everybody. After doing that two-part video series that Noelle did in Coffeetime, I was inspired to give some more practical advice. If you are inspired by what Noelle talked about and such an amazing topic, if you haven't seen it, go to part 1 here and take a look at her talk about money.
Hello, welcome to Coffee Time, episode 36. I can't even describe to you how ecstatic and excited I am about today's show. But first of all, we're still in Florida, in southern Florida, and it's raining right now. You probably can't hear the pitter-pattering, but it's raining, and I love it. It's so cool living in a van and getting to experience all the weather, well, and to get to choose to be in Florida where it's amazing weather most of the time. So Vince and I are doing so well. We have just had a huge shift happen, not just in our relationship, definitely in our relationship, but just in everything. I can't wait to tell you all about it. We're gonna talk about money today. I have had some insane breakthrough revelations, and if you are stressed at all about money, if you don't have clarity about how to operate in this money world, believe me, you are going to be encouraged, inspired. Your mind is going to get blown today. Number 1, to see anything clearly, the only way, you must step outside. You must know that this is not your home. You must know that you are meant, if you have eyes to see that this world is not set up right, you are meant to save the world. You are meant to set things right. But the only way you're going to set things right is if you first set yourself free. Okay, so we step outside the matrix. I had a moment, I've been dealing with, how do I approach the school? How do I approach my school and my business? Because I know I don't value money like everybody else does, but I live in a money world. I have to use it. And so I don't know if you saw that video, where I sang the song Imagine, and I told you about this moment. I was in Starbucks and I just went in the bathroom and I started weeping. I just started crying because I realized the students that have been attracted to me, some of them don't have any money. And I just realized these are my people, that I want to value people above money. And I just broke down weeping. Something just broke inside of me. And that's when it started to break off of me. And then the other day, 2 weeks ago, it broke off of me even more. And I saw it. I realized I am rich. I am wealthy. I don't have hardly any money in the bank. I don't have a lot of money in the bank. I am wealthy. I am successful in every way that I value, in every way from my true planet, from my home, that I value. I am. There is nothing I lack, and I saw it. And I'm telling you, the level of power and joy and happiness that I have been in since I extricated money from my worldview, from my sense of power, from my sense of worth, from my sense of success. There's nothing I need. I am complete. I am whole. I know that I am so much richer than the richest financial person on the earth, that I can honestly say, I am rich, and not have this little voice in my head that says, yeah, right, you think you're rich, you have hardly any money. It's like, no, I know that I'm rich. Okay, so truth number 2. I'm not going to mince any words here. Trusting in money is stupid. I was trying to think of the right word. Trusting in money is insane. Let's just put them together. Trusting in money is insanely stupid. I'm not trying to make you feel bad, and you shouldn't, because you live in a world where every message has told you your whole life that money is power, that money is happiness, that money is success. You have been told a lie your entire life, so you are not stupid for believing in this lie. But this world is stupid. These messages are insane. It is mental illness to think that you can trust in money. Why would you think money is the most shaky thing you could possibly trust in? Give me some napkins. Money is a piece of paper. It's like saying, I trust in napkins. I trust in this. It has Starbucks written on it. It is going to save me if I just get more of these napkins. If I just get more and more of these, and I get these in the bank, I'm gonna feel safe. I'm gonna feel secure. I'm gonna feel whole. I'm gonna feel successful because I have napkins. Look at it. This is what you think is gonna save you. Look at the difference. How are these very different? They're both paper. They both have writing on them. You think this is power because you have been told this is power. You think this is success because someone told you this is success. This is nothing except what you give it, except what you say it is. Okay? This is nothing. Trusting in money is stupid. There will be a day when our entire money system will collapse. There is going to be a day this no longer has any actual physical value. There is no gold standard. There is nothing real about this. Most money is just a digit in a computer screen. It's an illusion. And any day they want more, they just print more. They just say there's more. There is nothing real about this. There is nothing real. If you want to have your eyes open to the money system, to the banking system, to mortgages, to this thing that you are putting so much trust in, go and watch the movie The Big Short with Stephen Carell and Brad Pitt. It is amazing to see how shaky this system is, how meaningless this system is, okay? So what is worth putting your trust in? I am telling you, there is a magical world in the universe. There is a spirit of life and love and abundance that if you will let go of your attachment to this, if you can let go of this, if you can let go of this, let go of your strong attachment to this, and you can look inside and see that in you is magic. In you is life.
But I wanted to give the more practical side of it because I can understand how you could see that and go, that's awesome, I'm ready. Where do I start? And the reality is we didn't go from a mortgage and 2 high-paying corporate jobs like we had to straight into a bus. I mean, that's not how it happened. It evolved over multiple years, over 3 years. This took time. So I just want to encourage you that the answer isn't for you maybe to just drop everything. And you have little kids, you can't, there's no other situation, you're with your kids, I can't just go live in a van, I have kids. Well, that's not necessarily true. So here's some stuff to go on. So here's a little of a very condensed version of what we did in the last 3 years. Noelle and I both had very good paying corporate jobs. I was IT, she was an HR director. or assistant director or something like that, and I was a head of an IT department. Hated what I did. Do not like computers as far as working on them, but I was really good at it, always have been. So I couldn't just not do it because I was good and they paid me good. How can you leave that, right? Well, that's the question you may have. I may not like my job, but it's not hard and I'm good at it and I know how to do it. How can I just leave that? And that's a valid question. And the answer is you just do. So here's kind of what we did. We had a mortgage, and we just got finished remodeling the kitchen. Or I did it since I'm a carpenter too. Remodeled the kitchen and other stuff to revamp the house to try and make it more a place we want it to be, since we're giving so much of our lifeblood, our money, towards paying for this place. We wanted to be there as much as possible, since it was so expensive to pay for that mortgage. It was taking up so much of our money. And so that's when we decided, and Noelle, we've talked about it multiple times, we stopped paying. I lost my job. Noelle had already given up her job to pursue writing and discovering herself, which led us on this journey to get us where we're at today. She did that full time, discovering herself, and I worked full time. And once I lost my job, and I couldn't see getting another crappy job at a corporation that treated me like a number. They didn't give a crap about me, and they didn't value what I had, and it was just, I'm a number. So I was so tired of being that number that I agreed, yes, let's get the heck out of this system. So we moved in the bus. And we did that for a year, and we loved it. It was great. And that was a paring down, getting rid of stuff, letting go of the mortgage. We tried to work on the short sale. I spent a lot of money faxing all this documentation to the bank I was working with. One of the big four that collapsed. So it was one of the big four. That's all I'll say. And I would do it. You're approved for a short sale. Great. We'll get back with you in a week. Nothing for 2 weeks. Call them up. You're not approved. You need to reapply. Reapplied. You're approved for a short sale. We'll call you back in a week. I call back in 2 weeks with no reply from them. You're not approved. You need to reapply. This went on for 6 months, over and over again. I spent like $60 faxing, because you couldn't email. They had to be paper. Like $60 faxing them over, and then finally, I just quit. I was like, this is ridiculous. They're not going to let me do a short sale. They're just going to let this go into complete foreclosure. They're going to write it off on taxes, and then they're just going to resell it or whatever they're going to do, whatever. So they won't work with me. I can't work in this system. I just couldn't. So we were done with the mortgage. We stopped taking their phone calls, and it's yours. It's not like I stole it. It's right there. There's the house. They can resell it to whoever they want, whatever they want. We tried to work with them. And then we moved from the bus into a relative's basement for a little while. We cut up our credit cards. And stopped paying them and stopped taking phone calls, and just decided the only way to do this is just get out. We can't keep paying little bit on the credit cards, which means we have to have better jobs. We got to just get out, and we have to make that decision. We are never using credit again. If we're gonna stop paying on these credit cards and cut them up, we're not gonna ever touch a credit card again. We're not going back in the system. That is what we're gonna do to make this valid. And that's what we decided. No more credit cards, no more. If we can't pay for it, we're not doing it. And then we're living in the bus, and just the freedom of living there, and knowing that we didn't have to go to that corporate job anymore, and that, wow, it was so exciting. And it's like, gosh, we have to pay these credit cards. I got to go get a full-time job again to pay. And it's just like, it's like, why don't we just get out of the system? Just get out. We just didn't feel like stuff happened with the credit cards, that made us realize they weren't treating us like people, these credit card companies. They were treating us like a number, but they expected us to treat them like people. And it just realized this is a game. This isn't real. If they're not going to treat us with respect, when we're trying to work with them to pay off some of it but not the full amount, then we're just going to get out. We're done with this relationship. We're divorcing the credit system. And I'm not saying go move in a van tomorrow. Here's some things that you can do right now if you want to start getting that way. Let's say you want to have a homestead. Let's say you want to live on a homestead off the grid, or you want to live, take care of yourself, have a farm, live in a van, live in an apartment somewhere in the city that you love, but you don't want to be trapped to this job. Whatever it happens to be for you, you can just cut your credit cards up today. And maybe you want to keep paying on them, but just cut them up. Stop agreeing with the credit system altogether. Go take that expensive car you may have, that mortgage, that loan you have on your car, drive your car back to the dealership, hand them the keys, and walk away. You haven't stolen anything from them. They have their car back. Do the same thing with your house. They have your house. Let them take and do what they want with that house. They can resell it. Your very expensive apartment, or the really nice 2-3 bedroom apartment, that costs you nearly as much as a mortgage might. Turn your keys in and walk away. So what if your lease is up? You still have 4 months, 5 months on your lease. Do you think that apartment company is not going to re-rent your apartment within the month? Yes, they are. They're going to re-rent it. So you could move out and keep paying and pay off that debt, and then they're going to be getting your money for the rent, and they're going to be getting the money from the new tenant for that rent. Doesn't make any sense. You didn't steal anything from them. They're going to re-rent it. So just get out of it. Let them do what they want. Let them take your credit score. So here's the one that Noelle wanted me to be sure to mention. So the one credit card debt the one debt you cannot say I'm not paying it is college loans. That's the one. No matter what, you got to pay them. There's no way you can't go into bankruptcy and not pay them. There's no way. So if you're in the situation and you don't have a lot of money, and those college loans are holding you back, because they're expensive. There's a program called Income-Based Repayment Plan. Income-Based Repayment Plan. It is a government program that will pay if you are not making enough money, a certain amount of money after college, you do not have to pay your college loans. The government will pay for them. It's impossible to find. If you type in income-based repayment plan, there's lots of information on it. But it only works on government loans, not on private loans. But on government loans, you may have to call them up and say, where do I find it? Because they bury it on their website. But it's there. And Noelle hasn't paid on her college loans in like 4 years once we found this.